that when you listen to a calling in your heart, in your spirit, in your soul, the universe will do everything to move all the obstacles out of the way. It's just you have to take the leap in trusting and surrendering to that. That's your job. So day four of me doing 30 days straight of video to challenge myself, because apparently I like to challenge myself all of the time. Sometimes I drive myself crazy and I exhaust myself. But here we are, day 4 at the beginning. And just left, if you watch day 3, just left our Airbnb in Lutz, Florida, and had to come over to Melbourne for Scott to do some things as he's selling his boat. And we have been made aware of a hurricane that's heading for the Gulf Coast of Florida. Of course, it's showing that it's hitting north of Fort Myers, Tampa area, and we both can't help to think that this is exactly what happened last year around this time with Ian. And they said it was going to hit north of Fort Myers and Tampa area, and ended up hitting head on into Fort Myers. So we realized it's not that big of a deal. For us, I think we'll be safe, but we just don't want to be without power and water, either one of us. So we've kind of used it as an excuse to be playful and spontaneous, as we both love to do, and head on up to Georgia, one of our most favorite places, Elijay, Georgia. I'm telling you guys, who's ever watching this, if you stumble upon this video and you've never watched any of my things and you only get one thing from this video, go check out Elijay, Georgia, and more specifically their massage therapy there. I can't remember what the place is called, but if you look at massage therapy in Elijay, you'll find it. It is literally some of the best massages I have ever got in my life. Like, I dream about when I can go back to Elijay and get a massage there. They just are, and I've gotten massages at tons and tons and tons of places, and this little tiny cute place in Elijay, Georgia is amazing. So I'm sort of, I'm okay, I think, with going up there, because an excuse for me to get a massage. So I'm grateful. I'm super grateful that we have the means and resources to be able to do this, so we don't have to stay. Super grateful for that. I realize not everybody is there, and so I'm really grateful for that, to be able to, create the life and live the life that we both really love. I mean, not that we don't struggle, we do. It's why I'm doing these videos, because of that. I'm just grateful for the things that we have created, and the love that we share, and the love that we want to spread. It's why I'm doing these videos. It's why I show up on social media, even when I wanted to not, and kind of go into a cave, was because I did realize the more positivity that's out there, the more hope, the more light that I can bring out there. If I brought light into my life, I feel like, as Gary Vee would say, it's a responsibility to share that frequency out in the world, not just huddled up in a cave enjoying it for myself, but really spreading that light. I think that's maybe part of my mission in this lifetime, is to spread the light. So here I am, day 4, saying hello, sharing my day, sharing positive energy, high frequency with who's ever watching this, and something of value. Obviously, I told you, head to Elijay, Georgia for the best massage of your life. But I'll probably do another video later on the road. It's an 8.5-hour drive from here to there. And part of what Scott and I are both trying to create is that playfulness, is that spontaneity, is travel, is adventure, instead of being stuck in this idea that we have to live a certain way. For us, we thrive on adventure, we thrive on spontaneity. And we watch so many YouTube channels, and have watched so many YouTube channels over the years where people are living on catamarans, or people are living in their RV, like, and all of them will tell you, you just have to make the decision to do it. Like, there will always, always, always be the things that people will say, I can't because of my kids, because of my job, because of I don't have the money, like, and understandably so. I get it. However, there, for every one person that says that, there is one person that has proven they didn't have a lot of money, they had kids, like, they had all of those circumstances, but they just made the decision to do it. Like, they just made the decision that this was going to be the most important thing in their life, and they did it. And I really believe that because of our experiences and my experience, that when you listen to a calling in your heart, in your spirit, in your soul, the universe will do everything to move all the obstacles out of the way. It's just you have to take the leap in trusting and surrendering to that. That's your job, is to actually take the leap and to trust and to surrender. And one other piece of value that I'll add in there is read the, if you know you are in a place in your life right now where you're like, I want more, I know there's more, I feel that there's more in life, or for me, or you're thinking about any of it, I highly recommend you read or listen to the audiobook, The Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer. It is, oh my gosh, will it help you change your perspective on so many things. It's a deeply spiritual book, which is why I love it. It's about trusting, you know, he calls it life. I call it the universe, God, source, really, you know, whatever word you want to give it, but really that it knows better than our little ego minds know. And all we have to do is get our egos out of the way and our minds out of the way. And so many extraordinary things can happen for us. So I'll leave it at that, and maybe come on in a little bit when we're on the road. Day 4. Well, hello everybody. It is day 5. I'm pretty sure day 5. Day 5 of what? If you're stumbling upon this video for the first time and you have no idea who I am, it is day 5 of me doing a video, basically a video diary, kind of, for 30 days straight. I did this a few years ago when I knew it was probably going to be important for me to get comfortable just talking in front of the camera. I am not, even though that's a big part of my business, what I do, my work, it's still really uncomfortable a lot of times to be talking to a hole, a black hole, on a phone. I would, much rather be talking to another human face. However, I do know that just sharing my journey on a spiritual path, on an awakening path, on a growth path, there may be just one thing I say in one video that sparks or resonates with somebody else, one person, one of you watching right now, this video, it may spark something in you and help you to remember who you really are. And that's really what I'm here to do. Ultimately, at the end of the day, is to get my own self, my own ego out of the way, so that the light can shine through more and more and more. And the more that light shines through, the more it will reach as many people as possible, that light will, to ignite the light in them so that they remember. I always say that our teachers, our guides, our mentors, they're not really teaching us anything. The people that I work with, I always tell them, I'm not teaching you anything. I'm just activating a memory in you. Everything is in you. You know everything. It's just sometimes we need that spark of remembrance. So that's why I'm doing these 30 days of videos, to just share the journey. I think that it's so easy to, at least it was for me, maybe not for everybody, but I've been a coach, I guess you could say, for the last 4 or 5 years. And it's so easy when you get into that role, or even a mentorship role, to all of a sudden believe that you should have all the answers, and you should be perfect, and you should never struggle, and if you do, something's wrong with you, especially because I'm somebody who, it's really important to me to practice what I preach. It's really important to me to practice the things that I tell other people to practice. So as somebody that cares deeply about being as authentic as I can be. I got lost on that journey for a few years, and I got burnt out just on trying so hard to be that, to be perfect, to have all the answers. And none of us do. None of us. It's not about finding all the answers. In fact, I don't believe that there is ever a place where you'll find all the answers, unless you go to the ninth dimension or you go back to source, because that's the only place where everything is known in this three-dimensional world. We're here on our journey home, on our journey back to ourselves. And that's an ever unfolding process. And I believe anyway, that as long as you're in a 3D physical form, that journey will never end. And so for me, being authentic, but deeper than that, really showing who I really am, really the struggles I go through, the challenges I go through, the amazing times that I have, the tools that I use in my personal life, in my spiritual journey, the tools that have helped me. That's all I can hope to share. Because I do know if we all do this, if we all step out of the spiritual closet and let that light shine, then a fundamental shift will happen, a golden age will happen. And all it takes is for one person to start showing up and shining their light and helping other people remember. So that was a really long-winded answer to anyone stumbling upon this video wanting to know what day 5 means. That's what day 5 means. I'm on day 5 of my 30 days of showing up. If you watched yesterday, so if you're not new and you've been sort of watching these 30 days, yesterday we decided to drive up we were in Melbourne, Florida. Scott had to do some paperwork for selling his boat. And so we decided, because Hurricane Idalia was headed towards where we live in Fort Myers. It was kind of predicted to be north, Tampa area and north, but that's what they predicted last year around the same time with Hurricane Ian, and it hit head on to Fort Myers. So we decided, since we were already 3 hours north in Melbourne, that we would use it as an excuse to go away for a few days to one of our most favorite places, which is Elijay, Georgia. Actually, this time in this cabin, we're staying in Blue Ridge Mountain, Georgia, which is like 15 minutes away from Elijay. And so we rented this super cute cabin. I wonder if I can... Nope, I can't change. I'm trying to figure out how to change the view when I do this so you can see from the other side. But I'm going to do that. This super cute little Airbnb cabin. It is so, all right, let's see if I can do this. There's a little living area or dining area. Here is the little living room area and the kitchen, and like they really did take this old cabin and like put some modern touches into it, and it's in the trees. Like it's called a tree house because it's basically in the trees, in this super cute little desk area. And then this I have no idea if you're seeing this, hopefully you are. But then this really cute area up here with its own bathroom. It's so freaking cute. My hair is something today. Wow. It's so cute, and it's in the mountains, in the trees, which we love. We love being in the mountains. And we figured, why not? Like for us, like I said yesterday, spontaneity is so important and adventure is so important. And you can have all the excuses in the world not to have adventure, not to have spontaneity. You just literally have to do it. Like you just have to, because there's always going to be reasons not to. And people have asked us before, like, how do you guys travel so much? How do you, like, they think we're millionaires. We're not. We're not at all. Trust me. We just find ways to do it because it's the most important thing to us. It's more important than having a million cars. It's more important than owning a house. It's more important than having a bunch of things in our house. We have found that the more we get rid of, the more lighter we feel. And so for us, we don't buy things, we buy experiences. Like that's the most important thing to us. So I came into this room. Oh, you're going to see all our mess, but here's the little bathroom. And yeah, it is so cute, and we love it here, and we would highly recommend this Airbnb. I will actually put a link to it in the comments because it's really amazing. Here is the outside. There he is. You're in the trees. You're like literally in the trees. There's Murphy Man.
He's doing it too. I don't want to be on camera. Please take me off. I would like to be blurred out.
Anyway, that is the outside. It's really, really, really amazing. Again, we love it here. And this is what I'm going to end on because this video is already 8 minutes. And I like to try to keep these like shorter and add a piece of value. Hopefully to you watching this, because I don't want to just be, this is 30 days to be blabbing on about me. I wanted to give you some value. So here's the piece of value for today. Actually, there's two things. Okay, so I believe in quality, anything. Like, I don't care if I'm buying a piece of furniture, which obviously, as I just said, we don't buy, but if I'm sitting on a piece of furniture, if I'm drinking from a glass, if I'm looking at a painting, if I'm lying in certain sheets, if I'm eating certain food, if I'm eating food, if I'm drinking wine, if I'm using a phone, like, I don't care what it is. For me, quality is the most important thing because I sense energy very easily. And so now, like, if I eat food from, I don't really eat fast food anymore, but if I do because we're in a jam like we were last night, I can feel the energy of the people cooking it through the food. And so eating food or anything I'm using, literally anything I'm using, it's important to me that the people that created it, like, actually put their energy into it. Is it like, in other words, they actually enjoyed what they're doing. And you can tell, you can feel it. Like I said, from making a phone. I mean, obviously Steve Jobs was obsessed with making the iPhone. Look at the success it's had because he wanted to make sure it was perfect. He cared about the quality of it. And when you have a meal that when someone cooks it, like, you always, I always hear people say, well, you put your love into it. Like, I put my love in the things I cook. I don't cook a ton of things, but I put the love into the things that I cook. Or clothing, like, even, when you have cheap clothing that's made by people who hate their jobs. So for me, it's so important that everything I use or experience is done from a place of a really high energy, of a really high frequency. So people, and to me, that means you're enjoying what you're doing, because if you're not enjoying what you're doing, the energy is going to be a very low vibration, a very low frequency. And I will pick up on that. I will sense that. And so those people that know me or are around me or are in any of my programs, they always joke because I always talk about food because it's just an easy example to give. So I love good food. I love putting a piece of something into my mouth. That's what she said. That is of a high vibration. That is from somebody that enjoyed cooking it. And so the reason I'm telling you this is because the piece of value today is because I've gotten a lot of massages. For me, as I think even when you get on a spiritual path, or if you're just in your mind a lot, which 99.9999% of people I think are, they're mostly in their minds. It's important to do things that put you in your body. Why I became a breathwork instructor, why I teach breathwork, why I put on breathwork workshops, because it's an amazing tool, especially if you're on a spiritual path, to put you into your body, to actually feel. Because when you're in your head so much, you cut off feeling in your body. So many people cut it off. So it's important, especially, like I said, on a spiritual path, because you can be all up in the ethers, that you do things that put you in your body. So for me, on top of breath work and some other things, getting massages are just vital. They're just something that's vital to me. I would rather, I don't know, they're just vital. And again, it's one of those things that I've made that decision of, the things that are really, really, really important to me. Side note, I think there's this show on Amazon Prime, and I think it's called How to Get Rich, but actually it's not about how to have millions of dollars. It's how to actually create the things in your life that are important to you, like spend the money within your means on the things that are really, really important to you, and don't on the things that are not as important to you. And you can make $50,000 a year and still feel rich because you're putting that towards the things that are really important to you and maybe not putting. So anyway, massages is that for me. So it's important. I've had so many, I've had them everywhere. And again, it's one of those things that I can tell when people like it, or I can tell when the massage therapists like their job. Some of them I'll do, and they'll just go quick, really fast. And they're kind of, not that they're rough, they're just trying to get it over with. You can feel when someone's just trying to get it over with. They're not really into it. And I've had a select few over the last 20 years that are amazing. And so if you are ever in Elijay, Florida, you have got to go to, I was going to write down the name of the place and I forgot. I think it's called Imbala. I think it's called Imbala. If you are ever in Elijay, Georgia, or near Elijay, Georgia, you have got to get a massage here by a gentleman by the name of Alan. His name is Alan. He works there. It will blow your freaking mind. The best massage. I've been to him twice now. The best massage. The best massage. Especially because, again, I can pick up on energy, and I'm pretty certain he's probably doing a little bit of energy work on me. Every movement is very slow, very gentle, but firm enough to get knots out, but it doesn't hurt. I can't even put into words. You just have to experience it. I'm telling you, you have to experience a massage by Alan at this Imbala. I think that's the name, in Elijay, Georgia. I just look forward to every single time. It is heaven. It's like I am the most relaxed I think I've ever been in my life. So I said I was going to add 2 pieces of value. So the other piece of value, as I've been sitting here just talking for 15 minutes on day 5, the other piece of value I want to add was something I was thinking about this morning, and that was really about when you become some sort of some kind of an entrepreneur in any way, starting your own business in any way. A lot of times I've had a lot of business coaches in the last couple of years, and I've listened to a lot of entrepreneurs on YouTube, tons, way too many. And I'm going to tell you this from my own personal experience. If it doesn't resonate, throw it away. But if it does, I think this will be really helpful. And I think this will really resonate with a lot of people. A lot of times they'll tell you, be good at one thing, pick one thing and be really good at it. And I understand that is the case for many people. However, there are many of us that don't want to just stick with one thing. For me, I always thought I had to fit into that mold, and that's what I tried to do. I tried to do that in my business, and it just kept getting more frustrating because I realized this morning that that mold and that model doesn't work for me. It just doesn't. I need variety. I need things that I get passionate about. I get bored easily. And so does that mean maybe I'm not going to be the next KFC or Subway or whatever the thing is that that people are known for? What's her name? The creator of Spanx, whom I love and adore. She's the first woman self-made billionaire, Sarah Blakely. And I've really, really looked up to her. And, she did Spanx. That was her thing. So for those of you out there that maybe hear that message too, that you can only do one thing to be an entrepreneur if you want to be really successful, I say that works for some people and some people that doesn't. And for me, it doesn't. And I realize that. I can do different things. I can be involved. I can own Airbnbs. I can travel and stay at Airbnbs and have a YouTube channel just on that. I can read tarot cards. I can put on breathwork retreats. I can put on ketamine retreats. I can work in the online mentorship space programs. I can do all sorts of things. I could create a food truck if I wanted, because there's certain foods that I love cooking. Maybe they won't be as successful as I stuck with one thing. Maybe. I don't know. I decide that if I believe that what I believe is what's creating my reality and what shows up for me, then I get to decide what those beliefs are, and I get to decide what that reality is. And so I think I just wanted to share this because I think there's a lot of people who resonate with this, that if you've tried that, you try to stick to one thing and then it gets really frustrating, that maybe you're not that person that can just stick to one thing and go balls to the wall for years and years and years on it. Maybe it's a variety of things and that you like multiple things. Like me, I like multiple things, and you can find ways to feel fulfilled and be financially successful in that. And I'm starting to find that. So that was my second piece of value, hopefully some value to your life today, that maybe you don't have to stick to one thing. Maybe you can stick to multiple things. Almost a 20-minute video for day 5. Hopefully, again, I'm not just babbling on, or maybe I'm just babbling on and one person watches this and goes, that really was helpful, Em. And I hope so. I hope it was helpful to that one person that's watching right now. I love you all, and I will see you on day 6.